What's up, guys? Classy Metal here. I've got a, I guess a fairly small unpackaging, unboxing video to do with you guys today. This is from an eBay seller that I've featured on this channel several times in the past. I've bought quite a bit of material from him. He does all types of underground, death metal, black metal, doom metal sometimes. I've gotten some killer stuff at amazing prices from him. I wanted to go ahead and do this video because he has several auctions ending within the next day or so, and he does combine shipping. If you win multiple auctions, you can request a total, and he will combine shipping for you. And just all around a top-notch seller. The seller moniker is jaggerjones. I will link up his eBay store in the description. That way you can get in and see what he's got going. But he's always got just some awesome killer underground stuff, and you're not going to get a cheaper price a lot of the time. There should be 5 CDs in this package. This was my latest little venture into his auctions. My finances aren't what they were at one point. I'm having to cut back, unfortunately, but I still find time to splurge here and there. There for a while, I was getting tons of merch, tons of CDs, and I went a little overboard just because I knew that times were going to have to tighten up here. Going to throw that package. Sounded like the fish was trying to splash me a little bit. There we go. I don't know if you can hear him in the background splashing around in the tank. Then he always writes me these little notes and stuff. It says, "Thanks for your support, Lonnie. Hope things are going well in your life. Enjoy." As I said, just a top-notch seller. I've never had a bad experience. And he does watch these videos sometimes. So let me get these uncellophaned. And then we'll go through and kind of have a look at the stuff that I picked out this time around. The joys of unpackaging and unboxing videos, right? You have to watch me fumble through things. Alright, here we go. First one up. This is a band called Shambles. They are out of Thailand. They've had kind of a long venture getting to the sound that they're putting out now. This is an EP entitled Primitive Death Trance. Yeah, Primitive Death Trance. This came out, I think 2017 on Blood Harvest. Let me see. I don't remember the actual date. I don't see a date on here either. It's just in this little digi. Shambles. As I was saying, they're a band from Thailand. They started out as brutal death metal. They kind of morphed into this black metal sound, and now this is kind of a doom death type sound. It has a few little blackened elements in it, but it's like doom death with almost brutal death metal gutturals, if that makes any sense whatsoever. This is my favorite sound that this band has put forth so far. They had a bit of, I think it felt like almost like a bit of an identity crisis, and they finally are starting to hit their stride. I hope they continue to put more stuff out in this kind of vein of sound. It's doom death, very slow, almost atmospheric doom death. Some of the tracks sound very similar, but it is something that I can really dig, so I am happy to add this one into the collection. I'm going to link up, as I said, the jaggerjones eBay, so you guys can go check his auctions. I'm also going to try to find Bandcamps or something so you can listen and listen to some of this stuff. Maybe you'll like some of these bands that I picked out as well. Next up, this is a band out of Rhode Island. I picked up their EP from Paragon Records not too terribly long ago. This is black and death metal. There's going to be all types of death metal in this. All 5 CDs have death metal. They're death metal in some shape or form. So, but this is a Witch King with their debut full length that came out in 2018 entitled "Voice of the Ossuary." I picked up the EP from Paragon, Conjuration of Bestial Forces. and that one's pretty good. I really dig this full length. It's kind of fuzzy, lo-fi sounding blackened death metal. The drums on this, I'm sorry, the fish is going crazy. I don't know if you guys could even hear that, but I'm almost getting splashed. But the fish has a huge personality. Doesn't like me recording at night. So anyway, kind of fuzzy lo-fi production. The guitars are very fuzzy in the way that this is put together. The drums, for me, I love the drums on this release. They remind me of almost Whisper Supremacy era Cryptopsy drums, and that's something I can really dig. I really like this release. The title track, track number four, Voice of the Ossuary, they kind of slow it down on that one. It's like this pummeling blackened death metal assault, and then you hit that title track, and they throw in a few little doom elements going in, and I really dig that. So that's probably one of my favorite tracks on this release. This one is also in that kind of little fold out digi, and it was also released on Blood Harvest. So it looks like I am picking up some Blood Harvest material here in this update. Next up, this is a debut full length. This came out either 2012 or 2013. This is more blackened death metal. This is a band out of Sweden entitled Irkallian Oracle. And the name of this release is Grave Ekstasis. It's in the slipcase. And I think I had it upside down. There we go. I think it goes like this. As I was saying, debut full length, very atmospheric, a very atmospheric style of black and death metal, kind of drawn out, kind of ahead of its time. I think this was overlooked when it came out because everyone was almost in that kind of behemoth craze of black and death metal around the time that this came out. In my most recent 7 Deadly Spins, I showed the Tongues That Tell Secrets double EP, kind of that murky, oppressive style of black and death metal, atmospheric black and death metal. This is very, very, very in that similar in that vein. Very oppressive, occult sounding. I really dig this. The atmospheres on this just kind of suffocate you, and I really dig this release. They have another full length that's come out as well that's pretty good, but this is the first piece of the material that I'm lucky enough to add to my collection. I will have to hunt down that second full length. I think of the two, this one is my favorite, just because it was the first one that I heard. But this is just oppressive, murky, atmospheric black and death metal that is just very, very tasty. Next up, we have Witchrist with the Grand Tormentor. This is, I believe, their sophomore release. This came out in 2012. It's kind of becoming almost like a cult classic within this style of kind of doomy death metal. It's very, very good. Their debut release was kind of just more straightforward death metal, kind of relentless style death metal. They've thrown in the slower, doomier passages in this sophomore release. This one came out in 2012, so it's not like it's just something new, but they threw the kind of doomier influences into this, and I think it made a much heavier impact on their sound. The debut was good, but I believe this is just kind of leaps and bounds ahead of that debut album. Beheaded Ouroboros, I think, was the name of that debut release, I'm wanting to say. And but this is the one that I urge you to check out. If you're going to check out something from Witchcraft, this would be the album that I would highly, highly recommend. Unfortunately, this came out in 2012, as I said. Since this came out, they've only released an EP and a split. So they're well overdue for another full length. Metal Archive shows that the project is still together, so hopefully we'll get some more Witchcraft sometime in the future, because I would love to hear their sound moving forward from this, just from how this was leaps and bounds ahead of their debut full length. I think I would love to see where they're going from this. But this is almost a perfect album in my opinion. Fantastic stuff there. And then last but not least, we have some Russian. This is all right. How do I put this? This is Swedish death metal from Russia. It is Swedish entombed and dismember worship out of Russia. This is Wombripper with Infected Tomb. This is their first EP. They had a demo that came out before this, and then I believe this EP came out in 2017. I want to say they've had two full lengths that have been released after Infected Tomb, and both of those full lengths are absolutely stellar. This is a band that if you haven't heard this, with the way that there's been a ton of that kind of old school death metal revival, that Swedish death metal revival, this is a band that some of you may not have heard yet, and if you haven't, I'm sure you're about to, or you're going to be. They will stumble upon your radar sometime in the very near future, just from the simple fact that their latest two full lengths, well, there are only two full lengths, but the two full lengths that they've put out have just been so killer. This is pretty good. I don't feel like it's on the same level as the full lengths, but it was also earlier material. But it is nice to see where this band came from and what they've evolved to. And I mean, it's still a very strong little EP. But the two full lengths, this was originally released in 2017. This particular CD copy was done by Grotesque Sounds in 2019. I believe the first full length came out in 2019, perhaps 2018. That one was a super strong release, and then they released one last year. So they should be due for another full length. And yeah, definitely check out Wombripper. If you're into that old school death metal sound that's just killing it as of late, I think you'll dig Wombripper. So, like I said, it was just 5 CDs in this, but they were all super awesome CDs. I was stoked to add each of those into the collection, and I got a killer price on all of those. Definitely check out jaggerjones, eBay. You may be bidding against me in some of those auctions, because I may jump in and try to snipe some there right at the end. And if you get some, let me know. Let me know in the comments if you decide to bid on some of his stuff. I'd like to see what you guys are picking up as well. That's all I've got for today. I'm trying to get back on track and keep this content coming, but we'll see how well that works out. I know I say that sometimes and then kind of fall off, but I am definitely trying to get back in the swing of things. So that's all I've got for today. Stay classy, stay metal. If you're bidding on some of his stuff, or if you win some of his stuff, let me know what you got, and then I can also let you know if you were bidding against me in those auctions. I will see you guys very soon, I promise.